Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Switch to Movies. I'm your host, Guru Jot Singh, and we are here today to discuss the movie review of the newly released DC film, The Flash, that stars Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton in the lead roles of this 13th installment in the DC Extended Universe. So, let's get started. The Flash, directed by Andy Muschietti, starts with Barry Allen helping Bruce Wayne to rescue the scene for the innocent residents of the Gotham City as the robbery scene causes chaos in the opening scene of the film. And after completing the given task for the day and helping Batman clean up the day's criminal mess, Barry revisits his childhood home, recollecting the day when his mother was brutally murdered in broad daylight, and in his rage and self pity, the protagonist accidentally travels back in time, considering him to think that if he could go further back in time to meddle with the events and eventually prevent the death of his mother. Now, the movie has some really interesting elements stored in its package, with Barry encountering a splitting image of his younger self as he gets trapped in an alternate reality while tracing back his footsteps in time to eventually save his mother, which ultimately leads to many comical and hilarious moments between the two Barrys. And the movie also sees the re-rise of the evil-traded General Zod as he attempts to cause destruction and tyranny on the planet Earth by using his rebellious forces, and ultimately intends to invade the planet and remake it into a new Krypton. The movie overall has been very well crafted by the director Andy Muschietti, who brings in a right mixture of comedy and a feeling of sorrow within its characters, where each of his superly abled characters are struggling through a sense of loss that they experienced in their past that has played a huge role in shaping up their present selves, and the director is able to masterfully use all the characters by crafting them beautifully on his artistic sketchboard of cinematic filmmaking, to which a great compliment has to be paid to the film's writing, which is done by John Francis Daley, Jonathan Goldstein, and Joby Harold, and the film's incredible screenplay is credited to Christina Hodson, and it is the praiseful meritness of their stupendous work which enables the director to bring into spotlight the spellbounding narrative that is handed over to him, which he masterfully showcases on screen, along with all the surprise elements of the movie, which makes this adventure a crackerjacker of a ride. The visual effects of the film have been very well crafted, where you are able to feel the moment's tension imbued on screen, as well as the dazzling action sequences do add up to the elements of the wondrous wows of the film. And there's a notable element in the opening sequence of the film where the protagonist saves a series of infants from a tragically cracked down and crumbling building, where a bunch of slow motion advances and the gripping tension of the scene, as well as the visual craftery of the impeccable rescue, did stood out for me amongst the entire visual scenes of the film. The actors have done a wonderful job in the film, with Ezra Miller playing both parts of his splitting self with impeccable ease and a compelling charisma, where he is able to portray the sensitivity and maturity of his older self, along with the enthusiasm and the comical persona of his secondary selves, with the most astounding ease and impeccable ability of an amazing actor. Michael Keaton, who played Batman in the 1989 film Batman and in its 1992 sequel Batman Returns, adds up the element of nostalgia to the project, and his presence really lights up the screen on fire with those jaw-dropping action sequences and the resolute rescue acts that are led by the Caped Crusader, which adds up to the element of cherries on a beautiful cake. And even the Kryptonian's castaway Supergirl, which is played by Sasha Calle, is masterfully showcased and portrayed on screen. I'm going with 4 out of 5 for this latest DC entry of The Flash. If the protagonist has retwindled his steps to omit out the wrongful elements of his traumatic past, he must come to terms with the doubtful question of the ultimate solution to his desolatory problem. The pain is what truly makes us into heroes.